Hello, people. Teacher Alpha here. Today, we're going to be looking at an interesting topic. It's titled Bearings. Okay, this is an examinable question on your ECZ Mathematics Syllabus D final exam. It's important that you understand how to go about bearings. Now, without further ado, allow me to explain. Now, if you want to become very good at bearings, it's important that you understand the language of bearings. The language of what? Bearings. Now, if I say find the bearing of x from y, what does this mean? This simply means that, okay, what this simply means is that y is our starting point. Y is our starting point where the journey starts, and x is our destination. Okay, that's key number one. So the word from means starting. So meaning find the bearing of x from y simply means that rotating from the starting point going to the destination. Rotating from the starting point y going to the destination x. That's what it means. Okay. With that said, let us learn how to rotate clockwise. So learning how to rotate, how to identify the destination and rotation point is what is very essential with this topic. Here we have been given a north line. This north belongs to the point B. Okay. It belongs to the point B. Now, I want to show you something interesting. The question says, find the bearing of A from means starting. So find the bearing of A starting at B, starting at B. So B is the starting point. So you sketch a north at B. Now, in this case, a north line has already been provided. So the only thing we're going to do is move clockwise. Don't make a mistake of moving anti-clockwise. It is always clockwise. It is always clockwise. So you're going to move from the north of your starting point. Always move north from the north of your starting point. You move clockwise from the north of your starting point. In this case, B is my starting point and I'm at its north. Then you're going to move clockwise like this. So you end on this line. Why? Because it's taking us to the destination A. Okay. So this is what it means. This is what it means when say, this is what it means when say A from B. Okay. Let us understand what B from A is as well. What is our starting point between B and A? I believe you guessed it right. So A is our starting point. Now, in this other example, a north line has not been sketched. So what do? We sketch the north line. We sketch the north line like that. So we have sketched the north of A. North of A. Are you with me? Now we have the north of A. Now that we have the north of A, we are going to move clockwise from A, clockwise from the starting point. So what are we going to do? We're going to put the tiny dot at the north line, then we're going to move clockwise up to that point. Now somebody can ask, sir, why have you ended up to the point, up to the blue point? Is because this line is taking me to my destination. So the key is you always end your clockwise rotation up to the line that is taking you to the destination. In this case, line AB is taking me to B. Excellent. So we have learned how to rotate clockwise. We have learned how to rotate clockwise. Excellent. Now that we have learned how to rotate clockwise, okay, so this here is what we are calling B from A. B from A. So you must understand the difference. So this was, so here B was our starting point. So always remember to identify your starting point. All right, let's scroll down. Now that we've learned the idea of rotation, let us come to the properties of angles. Now, we have a property called alternate angles. Alternate angles. Now, you're going to realize that the moment two north lines have been sketched, you are going to realize that there is a letter that is being formed. The most common one that we can all see is the N shape. So alternate angles are angles that form an N shape if two parallel lines are present. So you're going to realize that, for example, in this question here, okay, you're going to note that if this angle here is 100 degrees, it means that this angle there is 100 what? Degrees. Why? They are alternating. It's forming an N shape. It is 100 degrees. Likewise, our angle there is 80 degrees. So meaning even this angle here, it is also what? 80 degrees. So y is 80 what? Degrees. So alternate angles, these are angles that form an N shape, as you can see, in which the angles at the elbows are equal. The angles in the elbows are what? Equal. So we have found x and y. So in short, if I'm to show this, so that is 100 degrees, that is 80 degrees. Let's come to supplementary angles. Supplementary angles, these are angles that form a U shape. So if you have got two north lines like this, okay, the angles inside here, x and y, x plus y, these two angles add up to 100 and what? 80 degrees. So the moment you see two north lines forming a U shape, it means that they are supplementary. For example, like in this case, we've got a north line there, and we've got a north line there. So these two angles, 130 plus x equals to what? 180. So in short, to find x, we subtract 180 minus 130. Why are we subtracting from 180? Is because we know that x and 130 are supplementary, meaning they add up to 180. They add up to what? 180. So 180 minus 50, we're getting 50 what? Degrees. Thank you very much, people. Once again, this has been your host,